New Mexico is, everybody's got their eye on New Mexico because New Mexico is doing something where free healthcare, free childcare for everybody.
So this is a monumental and exciting day in New Mexico's history and the nation's history.
New Mexico is getting ready to roll out its universal free childcare initiative starting November 1st. The change eliminates income limits to qualify for child care assistance and promises to save about $12,000 per child per year. The Early Childhood Department says in July, 1,500 out of the 1,900 child care providers statewide were already accepting child care assistance, adding they've seen interest from other providers as well.
We expect now through an internal survey that was conducted a few weeks ago with about a 50% response rate that 89% of our providers are thrilled, excited, and are ready to join the state in this effort to make high quality childcare available to all New Mexicans regardless of income.
That's massive. I don't know how they're going to pay for it. I don't know if they're going to rob another state like a bank.
Yeah.
But
I wonder what that's going to look like too.
Yeah, I do.
Like
is there a cutoff like 5? Once they go into school, do you have to pay for after school?
Right.
So is it only toddlers? Because they weren't really specific on this, but I think it's pretty much across the board that you get free childcare. The average childcare in America, again, Maryland or Virginia was like $28,000 a year. Massachusetts was just like insane.
Yeah, for good quality childcare.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You're dropping your 2-year-old off with somebody. You want to make sure they're not nuts.
Yes.
And do something horrible. You're trusting somebody with your child for several hours in the day. So, and you also want to make sure they don't come back to you smelly, just kind of all thumped up. The other kids beat them up. You paid no attention. They're outside smoking and just getting the money. So you want that good. That's going to cost you. That ain't free. That isn't free. So the average is a little over $13,000 a year. Again, I think it was Maryland, Virginia was like it was like 28,000, just so insane. Yeah. And then, and Mississippi was like $9,000 a year. So $13,000 is about where it's at. And I don't know exactly what it looks like. Now, they've been doing this on a means test base where they played, around with the numbers. And if you were at that poverty level or just above, you got free help. But I only think that went to like 4 or 5. I think once you got into elementary school, if they stayed after, you had to pay a little something. But still, I mean, many of you listening, if you have kids and you didn't have to pay for childcare, that'd be a helper. But it also goes back to how you pay for childcare. Because you could say it's free, but I think we all know it ain't free.
No, it's not free. And I also wonder, since it's government, what sort of, what sort of hoops are you going to have to jump through? And, what are you going to have to put up with as far as, government scrutinizing you possibly?
Well, from what I understand so far, and again, this is New Mexico, it's a little different. They're looking at this, and there's not enough of the child care that they need right now, so they're trying to open up more places. There's not enough, but you're right. What are you going to have to put up with? What's the licensing requirement also for the people that are going to be doing this?
Right.
Because let me tell you something, the minute somebody finds out that government's doing a program, this is where childcare gets out of control. Just like government control when it comes to spending money for healthcare, or God forbid, spending money when it comes to college tuition. Yes, Bill.
The prices are about to get pretty expensive because everybody's going to want a bigger slice of that subsidy pie.
Well, that's just it. So now I open up a place, and normally I'm charging $250 a kid. Well, if I know the government's paying for it, why wouldn't I want to charge $450 a kid?
Bingo.
Because they're not going to say anything. And this is where it starts to, and it gets this way too with all kinds of things, whether it's, school vouchers and stuff. You'll see they'll open up places, and everybody starts to open up a place because they think it's free money. All I got to do is get licensed by the state. They're going to hand me all these people. It's going to be free money, and I'm not going to have to do too much. And then I can hire people. So I'm making $60 an hour. I can hire 2 people for $12 an hour for 24, and I'm still doing okay. Telling you, you got to watch it.
It's always the details.
It's all, Everything is the deets, baby. Every single thing is the details. You got to look at the details. Somebody says you might want to promote, parents staying at home. That'd be great. Parents can't afford it.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, even though most of one of the parents' income will possibly go to child care, the little bit they have left over, they actually need.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just it. So if you're bringing home, $2,500 a month and $2,000 goes to daycare because of your kids, you got two of them, that $500 is needed for, food, for, utilities, all of the things.
Keeping a car running.
Yeah. So it's weird that you're working to pay somebody to watch your kids, but that extra $500 is going to help you get over the hump, and you may be the person who's also getting health care. So there's a lot of things, I'm telling you. Trust me, I think if you ask most moms and dads, they would love to have that opportunity for both of them to stay at home, work from the house.
I tell you what, dude, my wife and I, we lived in New Mexico for about 3 years. And that's where our first child was born, our daughter. And at the time, it was just my income. We could not afford childcare. So my wife quit work, stayed home, and we made it on, I think at the time, dude, I was making $24,000 a year.
God.
But we made it work.
Made it work.
But it was tight,
it was beans
man.
And rice, am I right?
Yeah. I mean, we weren't going out to eat every weekend,
No.
like we can now. And it was tight, but we had to do it because, my wife, she just did not trust childcare. she was not going to drop Amara off somewhere, and I'm not saying anything bad about childcare workers out there at all. It's just something that she did not trust. And so we made that sacrifice.
Yeah.
But it's hard.
It is hard.
And I don't know if you could do that in some places today.
No, I don't think you can.
You
I think
definitely could not do that here in Middle Tennessee.
No, I think it's virtually impossible in any of these places unless you're making not just six figures, well above the six-figure zone, if somebody's going to stay at home and you're going to have an okay life where the kids at least have their own room.
Yes.
So,
yeah, we lived in a little 2-bedroom, and it was a real Adobe house. Oh, man, I loved it.
Oh, those are so cool.
I freaking loved it, dude.
What was the rent there, though?
I think we paid, and see, that's the thing. We paid probably $700 a month.
Yeah.
For a little Adobe home, and on $25K a year, that was big. That was a big chunk out of one of those checks.
Yeah, no doubt. But you got by.
But we got by.
But it was tough, man. It was like you get by with a prayer and cross fingers, hoping that your tire don't burst.
Yes, sir.
Hoping your tire don't burst.
Exactly.
So, because we've all been there. I've been there. Everybody listening, you guys have all at one time or another been there. Bell's still there. Still there.
Brother Bell's got all those pets, man.
Yeah, do you know how expensive it is for me to put Bell in preschool? You know how expensive that is every day? I have to go out and get him before we get in here. Good God.